The growing danger of ecosystem collapse and Trump's war on nature. This is from Truth Out. They don't want to keep it in. They got to get the truth out. This is from Curtis Johnson over in Truth Out. In 1992, 1,700 world scientists issued a precedent warning to humanity that human beings and the natural world are on a collision course. They warn that human practices, if not checked, may so alter the living world that it will be unable to sustain life in the manner that we know. The statement argued saving life as we know it meant transforming our species' interaction with nature, lowering greenhouse gas emissions, and eliminating fossil fuel use, reducing deforestation, preserving biodiversity. Okay. Last November, 15,000 scientists, the largest scientific grouping to ever co-sign and support a journal article, issued a second notice warning humanity. They wrote, the authors of the 1992 Declaration feared that humanity was pushing the Earth's ecosystem beyond their capacities to support the web of life. These warnings and the new conclusion that things are getting far worse should shock the collective soul, which, by the way, is a band I enjoy. All right? I know some people, they never quite got on to Collective Soul. I think they wrote some good songs. All right? And by the way, Hints, Allegations, and Things Left Unsaid. That is such a cool fucking name for an album. That is one of the coolest album names that I can think of. That's Collective Soul's first album. It features their hit single, Shine. And is their stuff a little dated at this point? Yeah, you know, they didn't stand the test of time. But they wrote some good songs. And Hints, Allegations, and Things Left Unsaid. How cool of an album title is that? All right, so the dangers that scientists warned are now downpouring with increasing force. Last year was the second warmest in history, recorded history. All right, so let's get to the meat of this here. So the ecosystem's fucked, and this article is a very good one, but we can't go through all of it because we're almost out of time, and this is a lot to read. Okay, so let's get to the meat of this, how this involves the contemporary United States. The ecosystem is fucked. That's the summary. Ecosystem, real fucking shitty. World keeps getting warmer, deforestation, etc., rising sea levels. Yeah, we're in a ton of deep shit. And yeah, this is called peer-reviewed science. This is peer-reviewed science. So if you're like, well, I don't believe in global warming, you sound like an idiot, all right? You sound like a moron. If anyone that says that sentence, you just discounted yourself from the conversation. I'm sorry. If you say, I don't believe, you don't have the option to believe or not believe in peer-reviewed science. You have the option to deny it. You can either A, deny its existence, or B, deny its validity. You have the option to do that if you want to seem ignorant. But you can't believe or not. That's why I'm glad we at least say climate change denier now. That was the least step in a better direction. Because it's like you're just denying the peer-reviewed science. That you can't believe. You have the option to believe or not believe in something that can't be proven, i.e. a God. If you say, hey, I believe there's something supreme out there, that's my personal belief, I believe in it because of X, Y, Z, that's fine, that's your belief, okay. Or if you say, you know what, I don't believe there's anything out there, and I take comfort in that belief because blah, 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 okay, that's your belief, that's a belief. You can't be like, well, I don't believe in climate change. What do you not believe in? You don't believe that the scientists were there? What, you think they're all made up? I think all the scientists in the country are actually holograms, and it's just my hallucination after I've had too many cucumbers. Well, you're insane. You see what I'm getting at? All right, anyway. But B.O.B. says science is a cult. Changing a label can do more harm than good. All right, so let's get to the meat of this article. This is true to a greater or lesser extent in the entire capitalist world, but especially so in Trump's United States. At the very moment of frightening decline of planetary ecosystems and accelerating climate change, Trump and his regime and cohorts have launched a scorched earth campaign against the environment, a war on nature. Trump and his ilk aren't like Nero fiddling his Rome burn. They're stoking the inferno with whole forests. They have purged climate change from government websites while denying its existence. They've chastised scientists for raising the connection of last summer's hurricane to warming oceans. Trump has ordered the Clean Power Plan scrapped, is moving to pull the U.S. out of the Paris Climate Agreement, and has called for drastic cuts to the EPA budget. Okay, this is all true, and this is all valid. But instead of focusing on Trump being mean and Trump, making these political moves, why don't we focus on the part also that Trump is expanding drilling and Democrats aren't pushing back at all, and Obama did something similar. There was no way to vote against fracking. There was no way to vote against drilling. Let's point out the fact that the EPA is a bought organization to begin with that Trump stacked. Let's talk about the fact that the corporate media under or misreports any environmental issues because they are funded largely by oil and gas. Let's talk about the growing infection when it comes to the environment because our government is bought and paid for by anti-environment groups, oil and gas companies and so forth. And that includes the EPA. Why don't you talk about that instead of giving the delusion that the environment was just hunky-dory until Trump got here? Are we even worse off now? Yeah, comparatively speaking. But Obama expanded Arctic drilling as well. When it came to certain pipelines and stuff, did he do the right thing because the public was monitoring him and held him accountable? Yeah. Whereas Trump wouldn't have to have that accountability. Yeah. But Obama still expanded drilling. He still did a lot of anti-environmental moves, behind closed doors and under the radar. Hillary Clinton would have done the same thing. So now Trump's doing it. So that's more significant than they've purged climate change from government websites while denying its existence. We already know that. We all know Trump's a nincompoop when it comes to climate change. What do you expect him to change? And Kate points out he let DAPL play out and did nothing. Yes. Once he didn't have to think about re-election, he did nothing about DAPL. I was referring more to Keystone. He was vocal against Keystone because the public forced him to be. I'm not patting him on the back. I'm just saying that is something that Trump wouldn't have to do in the same scenario. So I'm not, I will acknowledge some small differences. But when it came to DAPL, he did absolutely nothing. So yeah, I mean, all this is true. Trump is terrible for the environment. He's absolutely terrible. But it's our entire system that's terrible. And just having a Democrat in the White House, and this article tries to make it out like it's just a one-side thing. Here's more. Trump isn't just the most environmentally unfriendly pro-business president ever. As Noam Chomsky recently put it, there's never been an administration here, or for that matter anywhere, which is committed to openly to trying to undermine prospects for organized human life. Yeah, that's true. And that is terrible. But we got to point out, it's our system that allows him to do this. If you have totally unregulated fracking and a lot of fracking and we'll make it sound prettier as people's options, you're going to get a Trump. You're going to get the most extreme. You're going to get the, when you go right, you're going to get to the point where it's like, well, we don't even acknowledge climate change. So, it's much more than just Trump takes climate change off of the government website. Is that horrible and disgusting? Absolutely. But as Forever Voting Third Party points out, after Obama's first win, the grassroots was shut down. Yeah, pretty much. And then it woke up again because of Bernie Sanders. But, the point is, it's like we have, total irresponsibility when it comes to the environment in our system because we're designed to be that way. Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.